Record na ako. Ayan na. Go. Let's go.
Sige. Ang topic natin ay data visualization, measuring data similarity and dissimilarity.
Sige, ako na.
Data visualization.
This is data
Sige.
visualization, definition and examples, and learning resources. Data visualization is the graphical representation of information and data by using visual elements like charts, graphs, and maps. Data visualization tools provide an accessible way to see and understand trends, outliers, and patterns in data. In the world of big data, data visualization tools and technologies are essential to analyze massive amounts of information and make data-driven decisions. Okay? Pag-represent graphically.
Oh,
Sige. Ano yung sunod?
sige, next. Yan. So yan, the advantages and benefits of good data visualization. Our eyes are drawn to colors and patterns. You can quickly identify red from blue, square from circle. Our culture is visual, including everything from art and advertisements to TV and movies. Data visualization is another form of visual art that grabs our interest and keeps our eyes on the message. We see a chart. When we see a chart, we quickly see trends and outliers. If we can see something, we internalize it quickly. It's storytelling with a purpose. If you ever started at a massive spreadsheet of data and couldn't see a trend, you know how much more effective a visualization can be.
Gusto naman yan yung... Ano yung wake yan, di
So,
ba? Wake yan, di ba? O ano? O wake ka, ayan.
eh,
O.
pero siya ano, isa yung ano, yun ang form ng ano, data
Ano
visualization.
yan? GIF yun, wait lang.
Di ko lang
GIF. Stig baga. Wake ka nga. Sige, sige. Ano yung sunod? Ito. Salamat yata. Ay, hindi ba to?
yeah, hindi pa yan.
Hindi pa to, ano?
Pero may
Iba pa to.
isa yan sa isa yan sa types ng ano,
Oo nga.
visualization.
Different types of visualizations. When you think of data visualization, your first thought probably immediately goes to simple bar graphs or pie charts. While this may be an integral part of visualizing data and common baseline for many data graphics, the right visualization must be prepared with the right set of info. Simple graphs are the only tip of the iceberg. There's a whole selection of visualization methods to present data in effective and interesting ways. Common general types of data visualization: charts, tables, graphs, maps, infographics, dashboards. I see.
Sige, sige pa.
Sige.
Yeah.
Sunod tayo.
Yeah,
Sunod.
next slide. Yeah. Air chart, bar chart,
Ito pala marami pa.
box and whisper plots, bubble cloud, bullet graph, cartogram, circle view, dot distribution map, Gantt chart, heat map, highlight table, histogram, matrix, network, polar area, radial tree, scatter plot, 2D or 3D, stream graph, text tables, timeline, tree map, wedge stack graph, word cloud, and any mix and match combination in a dashboard.
Sige daw. Ano
Yan yung
sunod?
mga ano,
Oo.
daming sample ng ano, pag-visualize.
Marami man nga talaga. Sige, ano sunod natin?
Sige, sunod.
Ano yun? Ito na nga.
Yan yung ano, yan yung similarity and dissimilarity measures. Madami yan, kaya lang pinaiksi ko na. Kuha na lang akong video para ano,
Iyo.
madami kasi yan eh. Para yung basic na lang
Yung ano
i-discuss
nga lang,
natin.
yung the gist of it na lang nga. Oo. Minovsky particles. Ay,
Sige,
pala,
next.
Minovsky pala yung Minovsky. Ito, similarity and dissimilarity. In data science, the similarity measure is a way of measuring how data samples are related or close to each other. On the other hand, the dissimilarity measure is to tell how much the data objects are distinct. Moreover, these terms are often used in clustering when similar data samples are grouped into one cluster. All other data samples are grouped into different ones. It is also used in classifications, e.g. in KNN, where the data objects are labeled based on feature similarity. Another example is when we talk about the similar outliers compared to other data samples, anomaly detection. The similarity measure is visually expressed as numeric value. It gets higher when the data samples are more alike. It is often expressed as a number between 0 and 1 by conversion. 0 means low similarity, the data objects are dissimilar. 1 means high similarity, the objects are very similar. Let's take an example where each data point contains only one input feature. This can be considered the simplest example to show the dissimilarity between three data points, A, B, and C. Each data sample can have a single value on one axis because we only have one input feature. Let's denote that as the x-axis. Let's take 2 points, A 0.5, B 1, and C 30. As you can tell, A and B are close enough to each other in contrast to C. Thus, the similarity between A and B is higher than A and C or B and C. In other terms, A and B have strong correlation. Therefore, the smaller the distance is, the larger the similarity will get. Ay, mani yan eh. Ayo. Siya man nga. Tinitingnan ako. Similarity. Similarities.
Ano, ito,
Sige,
mas tino
nanin
lang
yun
yung
na.
ilaw. Pero pag malayo, pare.
Oo.
Ito yung ano, definition niya. Mas malayo.
Ano yan? Ay, sige to. Data types, data
May audio yan,
quality.
may audio ba?
Meron?
May audio yan. Hindi yata nakabukas ng mic niya, no? Justin.
Ano yan? Ano yan? Ano yan?
I-open mo daw, may audio na eh.
When we do.
Ayan
So
pala.
next
Saan na yun?
section is similarity and dissimilarity. I'm going to kind of blast
Nasa siya.
through similarity and dissimilarity to get data exploration and visualization. If we have to cut data exploration and visualization a little short, we will, because we're going to talk about it a lot on, I think it's Tuesday when we do on Monday when we do the introduction to R. We do the introduction to R lab webinar. So similarity and dissimilarity are exactly what they sound like. Similarity is a numerical measure of how alike two data objects are. It is higher when objects are more alike, and you usually set it up so that it falls in the range between 0 and 1. Dissimilarity is a numerical measure of how different two data objects are. It's lower when objects are more alike. The minimum dissimilarity is 0 almost always. The upper limit varies based on the exact metric you're using, but is often 1, just sometimes higher. And we'll use the term proximity to refer to either how similar or how dissimilar objects are. So objects that are close will have a high similarity or a low dissimilarity. And if objects are far, if they have a low similarity and a high dissimilarity. Now, in the context of data matrices of very nice numeric data, we can use something very straightforward. We can use simple distance formulas. But in the context of ordinal of categorical data, nominal or ordinal data, then we often need to use different things. So nominal data, we usually use the sort of binary similarity-dissimilarity measurement, where dissimilarity for nominal is 0 if the two values are the same, and 1 if the two values are different, and exactly the reverse for similarity. For ordinal values, dissimilarity will often map our values to our integers from 0 to n minus 1, and then take the difference in those integer values and divide by the maximum, giving us a nice measurement between 0 and 1. In similarity, we take 1 minus the dissimilarity measurement. So that's really the reason why I'm talking about similarity and dissimilarity separately, rather than just sort of talking about one of them, is that there are some data types, like say nominal data types, where similarity is a very natural measurement. It's 1 if the two are the same, and 0 if the values are not the same. Whereas for something like ordinal variables, the measure of dissimilarity is kind of an easier and more natural way to think about it. We think about how far apart the variables are, not how close together they are. And similar interval ratio variables will often just take the absolute difference between the variables as a measure of dissimilarity, and then we might do some slightly more complicated things to calculate a similarity.
Mas na-explain niya na maayos. Mas,
Oo.
sinerch ko kasi na saglit. May video nga pala tayo na mag-i-explain nga pala niyan. Kalimutan ko. Pero ayos man nga. Ayos may pagkaka-explain. Ano yun? Sa YouTube mo lang yan di ba? Anong ano yan?
Oh,
Ano,
Data
yan ang,
science studio.
yan ang pangalan niya lang talaga. Yan ang talaga pangalan niya. Baka marami pa kasi yung kung ano ay. Baka marami pa yung mga explanation sa kung ano
yung
bagay.
mga yan, resource
Ayun
natin.
pala eh. Hindi. Siya yan, ano yung website na yun?
Ito talaga yung reference.
Yan yung pinunan ko dun sa una. Dun sa
I
unang
see. Oo.
Yung pangalawa, dun sa similarity. Hindi ko na ilagay yung yung link.
Oo.
Kasi konti man lang yun.
Ay, oo nga. Data science.
Anyway.
Pero dun sa video,
Ito na yan. Ito sa video.
Ito, yun pala yun. Hindi na lang. Napansin. Maganda.
ibang
Maganda.
site yan pag nire-direct ka niyan.
Ayos man yan. Ayos man maganda pagkaka-explain. Maikli lang pero sakto lang. Pero ayos man. Sige. Ayos man baga. Sige.